In a small village called Rosewood, there lived a young man named Ethan. Ethan was passionate about old stories, especially those that spoke of the nearby forest. The forest was considered a mysterious place, said to be home to magical creatures. The villagers warned against entering the forest, but curiosity filled Ethan's heart. One night, while sitting around a fire with his friends, one of them began to tell a tale about a hidden treasure deep within the forest. It is said that the treasure is protected by the spirit of the forest, and only a pure-hearted person can reach it. Ethan pondered these words and decided that he must discover whether these tales were true. A few days later, he packed a small bag with food and some tools and set off toward the forest. As Ethan entered the forest, he felt as if he had stepped into another world. The tall trees blocked out the sunlight, and the air was filled with the scent of fragrant flowers. He heard strange sounds, like whispers coming from deep within the woods. As he walked, he sensed something extraordinary surrounding him. After hours of walking, Ethan found a small river flowing between the rocks. He decided to rest for a while and drink some water. While he was drinking, he noticed something shining at the bottom of the river. He leaned down to see what it was, and suddenly, a small creature resembling a fairy appeared before him. "Hello, traveler," said the fairy with a smile. "I am Lily, the guardian of this forest. What brings you here?" Ethan told her about his journey in search of the treasure. Lily looked at him deeply and said, "The treasure is not just what you seek. There are lessons you must learn before you reach your goal." Lily decided to help Ethan on his journey, but first, he had to face a test. She led him to a dark part of the forest where the trees were dense and asked him to proceed alone. "You must prove your courage," she said. Ethan hesitated for a moment, but remembering his dream, he decided to move forward. As he walked through the darkness, he heard frightening sounds, but his heart was filled with determination. After a while, he found himself in a wide clearing filled with dancing lights. In the clearing, Ethan met a group of magical creatures who were celebrating. There was a gnome, a small dragon, and colorful birds. They invited him to join them, and Ethan, feeling lonely, gladly accepted. As they celebrated, Ethan discovered that each creature had its own unique story. He learned from them about friendship, bravery, and how cooperation could make them stronger. He realized that the true treasure was not gold or jewels, but the bonds he formed with others. After the celebration, Lily returned and told Ethan that he needed to face one final challenge before reaching the treasure. He had to cross a rickety bridge over a deep chasm. Ethan hesitated for a moment, but the memories of his new friends gave him strength. He crossed the bridge with steady steps and succeeded in reaching the other side. Finally, Ethan arrived at the treasure's location. He found an old chest filled with gold and jewels, but it was also filled with letters from people who had lived in the village. The letters spoke of love, courage, and friendship. Ethan realized that the true treasure was the lessons he learned during his journey. He returned to his village with a heart full of love and gratitude, sharing his story with everyone. When Ethan returned to his village, everyone welcomed him warmly. He began to tell them about his adventure in the forest, the magical creatures he met, and the valuable lessons he had learned. His passion and enthusiasm were infectious, and everyone began to feel a desire to explore the forest themselves. But Ethan knew that the forest was not just a place for treasure, it was a place for learning and growth. Therefore, he decided to organize a trip to the forest with his friends to share the experience he had. The next morning, Ethan gathered his friends, and they began preparing for their journey. They packed food, tools, and maps, and all set off toward the forest. The atmosphere was filled with excitement and anticipation. When they arrived at the forest, they were all amazed by the beauty of nature. The towering trees, vibrant colors, and sweet sounds enchanted them. Ethan led them to the river where he had met Lily and told them about the fairy. As they explored the forest, they faced various challenges. One day, they encountered a sudden storm. They got separated from each other, but they learned the importance of cooperation and teamwork. They used their different skills to help one another and safely returned to a secure spot. On another day, they discovered a secret garden filled with rare flowers. They decided to take care of the garden and plant new flowers, helping them understand the value of hard work and caring for nature. After several days of adventures, they decided to return to their village. They carried with them beautiful memories and valuable lessons. When they arrived, the villagers welcomed them with open arms. and they began to share their stories and experiences. Ethan and his friends became an inspiration to everyone. The villagers began organizing trips to the forest, learning to respect and preserve nature. The forest became a place of peace and learning, where people gathered to share stories and celebrate friendship. As time passed, Ethan became a symbol of courage and wisdom in his village. He decided to create a small library in the village that contained stories about the adventures he had, as well as tales about nature and magical creatures. He read to the children in the evenings, teaching them the importance of friendship, bravery, and teamwork. The children looked forward to hearing Ethan's stories, dreaming of becoming adventurers like him. With each story, Ethan planted in their hearts a love for exploration and respect for nature. Years went by, and Ethan grew older, but he never forgot his adventure in the forest. He would return to it from time to time, feeling its magic and reliving his memories. Each time he returned, he found something new, a new lesson, or a new friend. One day, while wandering in the forest, he met Lily again. She smiled at him and said, "I have been waiting for your return. You have taught everyone valuable lessons, and now you are part of this forest as it is part of you." Ethan realized that the adventure never truly ended, and that every new experience is an opportunity to learn and grow. He returned to his village, filled with hope and determination, to continue sharing his stories and lessons with future generations. And so, Ethan's story continued in his village, where the forest became a symbol of hope, courage, and friendship. Everyone learned that the true treasure lies in the experiences we live, the lessons we learn, and the connections we build with others.